Hi, everybody. So I'm back, and I want to talk about the ways that controlling religions and cults have affected us, those of us who've come out of those backgrounds, especially if you grew up in it. And one of the comments that I got sparked me wanting to speak about anger today. My friend mentioned that growing up in a strict religious upbringing gave her a lot of anger that she has struggled with. And one of the things, I don't think anger is a bad thing, but one of the things about being in these restrictive religions is that they teach us, especially women and girls, that anger is very bad and not to be seen and not to be shown. Certainly not to be talking back to anyone in authority, not to be showing that kind of emotion. I was taught that that was like lack of self-control, and that what I should really be doing is keeping myself calm, quiet, balanced, and level. And so as a girl, I was sent to my room. If I showed any anger, I was definitely spanked. That was part of the culture of my religion. It was actually one of the rules that you spank children, and definitely for anything that was called like a temper tantrum, talking back, anger is being bad. So I carried that as internal ways to limit myself because I didn't want to get spanked. I hated that. That to me was shaming. And so I would suppress my anger, but that was not a healthy thing, as we all know. And then it would come out sideways. It could come out making remarks or comments, passive aggressive things, sneaking around and doing what I wanted because I didn't want to deal with somebody else's anger or my own. And so what has happened? What have I done to stop those kinds of behaviors? I think embracing my anger, people who've taught me to embrace my anger has been really important. And that fury and anger can often be signals of injustice. And that's part of my makeup, that justice really matters to me. Being treated unfairly and other people being treated unfairly brings up my anger just instantly, like without even thinking about it. It's just like, no. So that can be a good thing. Anger at injustice leads people to activism. It leads people to do something. It's a signal in the body that something needs to be addressed. So learning that has been helpful, but also really embodied practices have been so helpful. Most recently, I've been doing pole dance with erotic creative dance along with it. I study with the S Factor method of dance, and I can choose a song that just instantly brings up some anger, or a teacher could choose a song. And by the time I have danced out that anger, and it could be a slow burn, it's not necessarily flailing around. By the time I have gone through that song, I feel so refreshed. I actually have felt joy afterwards. Pure joy after letting this anger, this fury, this smoldering rage out. So I know that that's healing. And long before I ever discovered that form of dancing, I found, when I was into the fitness world, I found kickboxing. And then from there, I found regular boxing. And I actually got a red standing bag from my basement, and I was kicking and punching that, so-called for fitness, but I actually realized, and even a teacher said, use this to get out your, suppressed anger and aggression, whether it's towards your boss, towards your husband, towards anybody. It was often towards some kind of male person or patriarchal system that I had anger. And I knew my clients did too. So a couple of them even bought bags because I recommended it for them. And they loved it. That was very healing too. And actually just to even honor that I was angry, not to just have it be suppressed, but to be like, yeah, I'm angry, and yeah, I get to do something about it. I get to express it. In martial arts, you actually make a sound, yeah, when you punch or hit. That was all very healing for me, and that was over 20 years ago I got into that, before I even left my cult. So I was starting to realize that I had this anger, and that it needed to come out. So those are a couple of the ways. Another way was something that I learned in Mama Gina's School of Womanly Arts, which was a very transformational program, and that was the womanly art of swamping. Now, swamping could be expressing grief or sadness, but also definitely anger and fury and rage. And we would actually put on a black trash bag, and we would do this together. It's better together. You could have like a plastic baseball bat and hit a pillow. I didn't have a plastic baseball bat, but for me, the biggest thing was wearing the trash bag, which owned that I felt really lousy. And then underneath it, to have some like really gorgeous underwear and strip off that, end your anger dance with strip tease out of the black trash bag into this gorgeous, whatever I was wearing underneath, my beautiful Victoria's Secret, underwear or whatever. The music I picked was really important. And again, this was before I really got into the more advanced S-Factor dancing. I didn't need that yet. I would find like an Alanis Morissette song, You Ought to Know. I remember that was one. A Who song, different angry rock songs was what I liked at that time, that expressed rage, and just dance it out, dance to 3-4 songs. And preferably dance with someone else, another woman who also had this rage. By the time we finished that, strip off the trash bag, and the anger and rage leads into an erotic joy. And it's like being joyful with myself, with who I am, which is the complete antithesis of what the light, which is my cult, taught me to do and be. Certainly not to be joyful with myself, not to express rage, not to listen to dance music, and not to do a striptease. I mean, all of that was just completely counter. And so there was a rebellion that was very healing too. So those are some of my thoughts about anger, having, recovering from being in a cult or controlling religion. And I'm not talking about sex cults, that's another subject. I'm talking about religious cults where they teach you to be good. And that's what I've got for you today. I love your comments. I know this is a longer video, but I really had some things to say about anger, and there's more, of course, but this is a start. Have a wonderful day, everybody. See you soon.